Hello everybody, this is Dr. Cole, Sunday evening, February 21st, now entering week 8 of Humanities 2333 for the spring 2021 term. We are on an 8-week schedule. We will get an announcement out next weekend, a week from tonight. Everyone, we have this week left on the calendar for the 8-week term, and then the following week will be the final exam. The final exam is what we have left. Now the plan is that we will chat a week from tomorrow night. That will be the evening of the 1st, March 1st, at 7 o'clock Central Time. And then the final exam will be open for 48 hours on the 2nd and the 3rd. That is the plan. And grades have to be turned in by Friday the 5th. So we're coming very quickly to the end of the spring term on the 8-week schedule. Everyone, the second written assignments have been graded for those who did them. Some people wrote a bit more than others. On the whole, everyone did well, I thought. You should have received a message with your numerical grade and a comment from me. So the final exam is what we have left. The material will be primarily the class notes for lectures 9 through 16. Okay. Now, on the syllabus for this week, you have Mortality, lecture 15, and Worldviews and Philosophies of Life, lecture 16. Coming to the end of the course, I thought it was appropriate to discuss the end, if you will. Now, there are several questions that are raised with regard to mortality. Is mortality or death a harm to the individual who suffers death? Of course, the reason it's not a problem is that the individual is not there to suffer once the individual has passed on. So is this a harm to the individual who passes away? That's a question that philosophers have kicked around. Would immortality be better? Now, it might or might surprise you to know that there's disagreement among philosophers about that. Would life still be, you might say the question is, would life still be meaningful if we were immortal, or at least if our lifespan extended long, long beyond the 70, 80, 90 years that many of us might expect? Okay, so those are among the questions raised. And in addition, what does it mean to die a good death? And are people, in the circumstances under which they pass away, experiencing that these days? All right, so among many questions that might be raised with regard to mortality. Now, with regard to worldviews and philosophies of life, the main issue with regard to worldviews is, are you a theist or a philosophical naturalist? And there are many, many positions on the various philosophical problems that tend to go along with either one or the other. Okay. Philosophical positions are not random. A position on one will imply positions on the others. Philosophy of life, strictly speaking, refers to your philosophy of what, if anything, makes life worth living. And if you don't feel that there's anything that makes life worth living, then this makes you a nihilist, N-I-H-I-L-I-S-T. You don't believe there's anything that makes life worth living. And a philosopher might be a nihilist if that philosopher believes that all the alternatives to nihilism lack credibility. But there are some alternative positions on that question that we lay out in the class notes for lecture 16. So the exam will cover primarily the class notes for lectures 9 through 16. Take a look at the announcement I put out about the assignment of what you're responsible for on the final exam. It is primarily the class notes for lectures 9 through 16. Everyone, the final exam cannot be dropped. Okay. Prior to the final exam, we had the midterm, the set of discussions, and the 2 written assignments. Okay. Some of you had low grades on the midterm. I'm hopeful that the final will not be so difficult as the midterm. That's been our experience in the past, because some of the material on the midterm was so technical. If you have a low grade on the midterm, that grade can be dropped. You should be sure that you have done both of the written assignments. And if you are missing a written assignment, I'd be happy to entertain a late paper if you will get that to me and let me know that you have submitted it. Okay, so the plan then for this week, everybody, is to look at the class notes for lectures 15 and 16 and get ready for the final exam. Okay, the final exam will be not this week, but next week, on Tuesday and Wednesday, the 2nd and the 3rd. We will chat Monday evening the 1st at 7 o'clock Central Time. And once the exam is taken, we'll try to take a look at any late work that may come in and try to get grades in by the deadline of Friday, March 5th. So primarily the main thing we have left to do is the final exam and also the lecture 15 and 16 material. So be looking at that and begin gearing up to get ready for the final exam. And we will get another announcement out a week from tonight. And 1 week from tomorrow, we will plan on chatting. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, a week from this Tuesday and Wednesday, March 2nd and 3rd will be the final exam. So we will talk to you one last time, a week from now at this time. We hope to see you in the chat room on the 1st. In the meantime, study hard, take it easy.